Wondersday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wondersday, 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 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wondersday, 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 Wondersday. Well, welcome to Wondersday Wednesday, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your J Street Regulars Radio Hour host, James Zeller, and so glad to be able to do this tonight and to share a lot of really awesome things with you that I'm excited about. So Wondersday is a variety show where we talk about arts in our community and different exciting arts projects that are happening. And tonight, those include, tonight we're talking specifically about some of the themes that will get covered in the show. It's just the way the cookie crumbled, are collaboration. And a lot of the show seems to be about collaboration. And then also we're going to talk about Zero Waste Humboldt, which is a great organization that we encourage you to support. So on the show tonight we have Jim Silva playing a great song, which is going to come up next here. Katie Belknap has the Sanctuary's own wonderful Katie Belknap has a time-lapse video of her making awards for Zero Waste Tumble, which is really cool. And there's also piano music in the background, which is played by Katie. Then we have a really exciting video of Vanessa Vrtiak, who's an amazing poet who I've just become aware of and has collaborated with the Sanctuary before, and a really, really beautiful poem called How to Save a Life, I believe. And then after that, Sarah Torres, former Humboldt County resident, an amazing musician, used to be around here. I'm going to share a video of her performing a song called Water is Life. Then we have a really exciting short video of the Monster Project, which is a project that's facilitated by Trajectory, which is a Dreammaker project of the Ink People Center for the Arts, who incidentally also supply a grant to make this radio hour show happen. So a big thanks to Ink People tonight. And we have a little bit from our neighbors, Hannah and Ruby, and finally we're going to close out with some information on Zero Waste Humboldt. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thanks so much for being here. Tonight is Wondersday Wednesday, and we're talking about collaboration actually in music,
right,
and collaboration in art in general, and we're also focusing on an organization called Zero Waste Humboldt. So your song is very appropriate.
All right, Zero Waste Humboldt. This is a song I wrote back in 2005. I think I was doing a program with Humboldt State. It's an environmental ed program. We were out at the marsh, Arcata Marsh, and the main themes were, composting, water conservation, and recycling and packaging. So And then my daughter added a verse. We'll try to do that. I don't have it quite down, but she added a verse. She's a PhD in environmental engineering. That's a Portuguese heritage descendant. No, she's actually got one of those academic things too. So,
Great.
all right. Well, this is called "Waste is a Resource Out of Place." Scraps might look like trash. The worms in your compost, they're a tasty cash. They never complain, they eat it up like cake. Can feed your garden with the soil they made. Building a compost is not very hard. No, there's no need to truck it to a stinky trash yard. 'Cause waste is just a resource out of place. Oh yeah, waste is just a resource out of place. Because the sun shines, the wind blows, and water rides a current from the sea to the shore. Climbing the mountains, going up as rain, flowing through a river in the ocean again. Round and round, yeah, the cycle's complete, so let's keep it clean, baby, keep it sweet, because waste is just a resource out of place. Oh yeah, waste is just a resource out of place. There, you got it. Old paper or plastic, the choice is clear. Neither for me, I've had this cloth bag for years. Processed package for convenience sake. It's a marketing plan with a landfill fee. Cost is high and nutrition is low. You got to give me some real food from the bullpen row. 'Cause waste is just a resource out of faith. Oh yeah, waste is just a resource out of place. Turn on, turn off, takes no time to do. But the energy used took us some time to produce. A million years, making a better bed. Hey, 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 hey. Million years is a long time to wait to sequester the carbon before we suffocate. Because waste is just a resource out of place. Oh yeah, waste is just a resource out of place. I'm gonna try that last verse again. Turn on, turn off, takes no time to do. The energy used, it took some time to produce. Millions of years to make the world consume. Too bad we breathe oxygen and not CO2. Millions of years is a long time to wait to sequester the carbon before we suffocate. 'Cause waste is just a resource out of place. Oh yeah, waste is just a resource out of place.
just a resource in your face.
All right, well, that sure was a pleasure to record that with Jim. Thanks, Jim, for doing that this afternoon, and great to have Bacchus on the stage with us. That's the mayor of 13th and J Street there, Bacchus the dog. And next we have a time-lapse video. Katie Belknap, who is multi-talented, of course, makes the Zero Waste Awards for Zero Waste Humboldt every year. And this is a time-lapse video of the creation of some of those, and then some photographs. And in the background, you'll hear Katie tickling the ivories, playing her original tune. So enjoy that. And this is part of the theme of the show is Zero Waste Humboldt, and we're going to have an informational video from them at the end. So this is just along another part of the ongoing theme here. So enjoy.
I remember the first time we prayed to God to pay our rent. My two sisters and I were kneeling on the living room floor, listening to my mother cry. Afterwards, we dug for pennies in the couch, and I was convinced that God must have a hearing problem, because we lost our home anyway. Over the next few years, we would sleep on strangers' floors, in the back of our hair salon, in our car, because no matter how hard my mom tried, she couldn't do it alone with 3 girls. My mom used to love to braid my hair. She would always smell the soft spot on the back of my head. She said it was the spot that made me her baby no matter how old I was. She wanted us to smell good. She didn't want us to smell like dirt and soft rain because she was afraid that if we didn't smell good, our teachers wouldn't help us. I never had problems with my teachers not helping me. In fact, it was the opposite. I was the kid on the last day of kindergarten that got invited to her house to swim in her hot tub. I was the kid that loved school so much, I wore this turtleneck when I got the chicken pox just so I could keep going. In 2nd grade, I had this teacher named Mrs. Weaver. Mrs. Weaver had us make a doll named Flat Sammy. Flat Sammy looked just like me. She had golden yarn hair and a whole jean outfit. And I was proud of her. And Mrs. Weaver told us that we needed to give our doll to an adult that loved us. And that adult would take our doll with them everywhere and take pictures and write letters to me about their adventures. I didn't have anyone to give my doll to. So I gave mine to Mrs. Weaver. And she took that doll with her. And she wrote me letters about how they ate raw cookie dough together. And I imagined myself there with her in her kitchen, laughing with my sweet, flat Sammy. My sisters and I were left alone a lot as kids. And when we'd get tired of playing school, I would go outside and I would climb my favorite tree. And I would push my heart into that tree. Because for some reason, I always knew that there was more to life than listening to my mother's head hit the back of some man's palm claiming that he loved her. When I was in 8th grade, she went to jail. And I thought that there would be somebody that would be there to claim us, someone in our bloodline. But no one did. It was my best friend's mom who took my 2 sisters and I in so we wouldn't be separated. It was my 7th grade teacher who started to write me these beautiful letters, words of encouragement that I always needed. And she listened as I expressed my fears of becoming a mother figure to my 2 sisters. Years later, after she was released, we were getting ready to be homeless again. And I was a senior in high school and I couldn't do it. I went to my principal at the time and I said, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to drop out. And he said, wow, you've come this far and you want to drop out. You have so much potential. Why don't you take school with you wherever you're going? And so I did. I did independent study across state lines, which is something they had never done before because he believed in me. I moved to Kansas, and I met this woman along the way who I call my Kansas mama. She took me to a college campus, and she asked me, why wasn't I here? She told me I was made of great things, that I could do this. You see, I could have been the girl with the needle in my arm. I could have been addicted to drugs. I could have been in the criminal justice system. I could have been homeless. I could have had children that I couldn't feed if I didn't have people all along the way telling me that I am strong, powerful, that resiliency rests in my bones. And my mom thought that this whole time that she was raising us on her own. And there were angels all along the way. Most people think they need to lead a march or start a movement to leave a legacy. But I am a living testament to the value of kindness, of telling someone that they are worth it, that you believe in them. And sometimes that can be just enough to save a life.
And next we have, I'd like to share a feature of a great singer and songwriter who used to live around here, and I always admired for her great songwriting, her impassioned singing, and her dedication to great causes. That's Sarah Torres. And right now I hope you enjoy and remember her original song, Water is Life.
Just once again want to say that this is We Odd Land. This song is an original song. This is called Water is Life. It's inspired by Standing Rock. I wrote it in the fall before the election. So if you're aware of the happenings in Standing Rock, it's before, it's just in the fall of last year. It's also inspired by Tulawat Island, where the Wiyot massacre happened. And here it goes. Can you hear the guitar in the back? You took my land from so long ago. You came from far away. You take my land from so long ago. You still want more today. Give back what was stolen. with your black snakes of oil, polluting where it slithers. You'll poison our water one drop at a time. Our lives are outweighed by your greed. While water is life, without let the buffalo freely roam. Let the dams fall down. Let the rivers rise again. Let the trees grow tall. Pray for the ocean. Pray for the rivers. Pray for the lakes, the streams, the salmon, and all of the fish and the animals, and all of the people of the earth. So today is International Women's Day. Pretty cool day. Women all over the world went on strike, except for in Humboldt. That would have been cool. And let's see. For years, courageous forest defenders have continued to expose the brutal deforestation of our precious bioregion, plundered and ruined by the likes of Simpson, now Green Diamond Industries. All the irreparable damage so taken for granted and going on and on. Right now, brave forest defenders are planning a public walkthrough of Green Diamond Forest because Green Diamond continues to ignore our pleas. We know now with climate upheaval that living forests are indeed critical for absorbing massive warming carbons. Community action like this walkthrough is absolutely essential. This is about an emboldened people who already know enough of the truth to have the willingness to openly take action, especially after formal requests have been ignored. The media knowing and reporting our walkthrough of private land to record further evidence of Green Diamond's bad practices and are exposing critical information to a wider public will surely help lead to ending clear-cut deforestation. In the lounge you will find some of our local courageous forest defenders, and they are indeed courageous. And when you go out the door there, the first table there, you'll see them. Those who have blocked the company established tree sit-ins and worked hard with their bodies, minds, and voices to halt the destruction. They need us in great numbers to make this work. It's essential now as we face climate change. Timber regulations do not protect the forest or rivers or any of us. What we need most is the trees left standing alive. No further deforestation.
All right, well, that's a songwriter that I really admire, and a person I really admire, Sarah Torres, and just exchanged emails with her the other day, and hope she's doing well in Detroit, I think is where she's living now. So come back sometime, play some songs for her. She's got a lot of awesome songs, and I put in the chat where you can find some of those. I listened to some of them on Emily Reinhardt's show. Emily hires me to play music while she makes art, and she also hires Sarah, if you know Sarah from Humboldt. So when you get a chance, check that out. She's got a lot of really, really great songs, and she's a pretty amazing singer in my opinion. So next we have the Monster Project, and the Monster Project is facilitated by Trajectory, which is an amazing organization that is, Trajectory is a dream maker project of the Ink People Center of the Arts in Eureka, which is another amazing organization. And Ink People is partially responsible for this show. They have given us a very large grant, helped us get a very large grant from a FAR grant. So thank you, Ink People. And right now, this next segment is the Monster Project, which is a project that centers around collaboration, creating collaborative artwork, and displaying it in public. So it's pretty cool stuff. Here's a video, and I hope you enjoy it. By the way, it's in Eureka, and you can see it up. It's up now, and if you're anywhere near 3rd and G in Eureka, walk by and check it out.
The primary purpose of the Monster Project is collaboration and connectivity. even before the pandemic, it was the idea that we're combating isolation and loneliness in the creative process. That the creative process is a collective process. Is that we don't do it alone. That even though we feel like we're doing it alone, that we do it collaboratively. We do create collectively. That there's a collective energy that happens when we're creating artwork. And the Monster Project's about that. It's not about a monster necessarily. Collaboration is kind of the monster. It is, you never know where it's going to take you when you start working on a project. The idea behind it is so we can make connections with other artists and other people. They don't necessarily have to be visual artists. It can be artists that are poets. It can be artists that are writers. People have made costumes for performances, created songs for performances. Even though there is a pandemic, we can still collaborate, and people were a lot more willing to collaborate because of how isolated and how much isolation and loneliness was a part of this. So the collaborative projects, we maintained safe distances. Either it was a collaboration where one person worked on a panel and then gave it to the other person. It was a back and forth. Or there was safe distances when people worked on the panels together. They wore masks. All the protocols were in place for a safe collaboration. And then we have it out here in a gated space where people can view it at a distance. And the signs are, they've been through the whole entire winter. So they've made it through all the wind, and the project continues. We're going to have another sort of growth of it in a different city in Arcata soon. So I'm working on the next pieces. Artists have been continuing to collaborate with each other, so we're working on that as well.
All right, so that's the Monster Project. Really, really awesome thing. Again, that's at 3rd and G Street in Eureka right now, and we'll be coming to Arcata. And next, we have a really short video. I sit out on the porch often here at the sanctuary, and I get to collaborate with my neighbors and friends. And here's a really cute collaboration that I did with my little friend Ruby and her mom, Hannah. Hope you enjoy it. It's a poem that Ruby wrote, and then Hannah read it while Ruby performed on a log drum that we have. So enjoy.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4, 5. I have a loose tooth, moon moose. I have a loose tooth and it's wiggly, moose moon. I have alicorn, tangled alicorn, moon moose. You have a smile as bright as a star in the sky.
Bravo!
By the way, we forgot to introduce ourselves, guys.
You want to introduce yourself now?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I was playing that.
Yay, Lauren!
And that's Hannah. She was singing that poem. And that's James right there. He was filming it.
Enjoy Wondersday!
Bye.
All right, so That's I don't know what that's called, Moon Moose. I really like the way that turned out, though. A little poem that Ruby and I wrote, and Hannah sang. Thanks so much. Well, let's see. So now we're finally to the Zero Waste Humboldt section of our show, and we have Kelly Fortner is going to talk to us and tell us a little bit about Zero Waste Humboldt. So enjoy. This is a really important organization, and we encourage you to support them.
About who. Hey y'all, my name is Kelly Fortner, and I am the vice president of the local organization Zero Waste Humboldt, here to talk with you all just a little bit about who we are and what we do. First, though, I just wanted to give a big thank you to James and the other folks at the Sanctuary Arcata for providing such amazing programming as the Wondersday Wednesday show and for featuring Zero Waste Humboldt tonight. So just jumping right into it, Zero Waste Humboldt is the only organization on the Northern California coast that focuses solely on waste prevention efforts. And we do this through providing three main services to the local community. So we do public education by getting the word out about what is zero waste, why does it matter, what can you do about the challenges we face with waste today on a local level, on a personal level, and even a broader, a statewide or national level. So that is one way that we provide services to the community and kind of just create connections and get conversations started about what is zero waste and why does it matter. We also do advocacy to local government. So one example is plastic bag ban ordinances and other types of local government work to help create policy that can reduce waste created locally. And lastly, we do training and technical assistance. Specifically, we do training and technical assistance to help organizations such as businesses with implementing zero waste practices. I'm going to just share my screen right now and show a few things to you all. So here again are our three main services, and if you click on this tab, you can learn a little bit more about each one. We also have this Zero Waste Humboldt Projects tab where you can learn about previous projects that we have completed, and we have some other helpful tabs, Zero Waste Lifestyle resources, about us that feel free to check out. And the thing that I want to show you all right now is the Zero Waste Zebras activities. And this is a type of educational material that one of our former board members, Denise Newman, and a volunteer with Zero Waste Humboldt, Haley Connors Keith, created. And basically, these are just some cool zero waste creative reuse types of activities that if you have kids at home, or if you know folks who have kids at home who would be interested in learning more about zero waste, and also what are some activities you can do that are fun and creative and implement zero waste, then I highly recommend checking out these activities, and you can access them just by going to zerowastehumboldt.org/kids, KIDS, and then clicking this image, and it will download the packets. And so from here, I just wanted to show you all One way that you can support our organization is by donating. So if you click this big green donate tab, or if you go to zerowastehumboldt.org/donate, it's really quick and easy to donate. You can do it electronically or via check. And one thing just about Zero Waste Humboldt is that we are an all volunteer run organization. And we can really use the support of, any support financially you can give would be really helpful for us to continue on with the projects that we're doing. If you want to support us in a different way, you can also volunteer for our organization. I'm going to go over to this tab to the right. If you click join, and we have a variety of different types of ways you can volunteer, particularly if you look at our services tab, then you can get an idea of some of the ways if you want to focus more on education or advocacy and policy development and legislation's your thing, or if you're really interested in helping with the technical assistance and training side. Also, you can volunteer to help us with things like fundraising or any other projects you have in mind. We have some ongoing projects as well that we can tell you about if you're interested in learning about more ways to volunteer. And also, if you have really strong project management skills and you're interested in taking on a leadership role in our organization, definitely consider joining our board of directors. We have some vacancies on the board right now, and we're really looking for some folks who care about the cause and have a background in project management and fundraising to take on a leadership position in the organization. And lastly, as I mentioned, we are an all volunteer run organization, and that is going to change. We are planning to hire one part-time staff person, and that person will focus on fund development and event planning and some other tasks to keep the organization running. And so keep an eye out for that. We plan to post the position in about a month and have it filled by June. So for any of these opportunities, we highly recommend you contact us. Here's our email at the top here, contact@zerowastehumboldt.org, and feel free to ask us questions, and we'll be happy to chat. And then so one thing that I wanted to show you before I move into talking a little bit about a really amazing local artist and business owner is this utensil holder that I actually created myself a few years back. So this is made up of some it's an upcycled utensil holder, and it's made of some couch fabric samples. And basically I hand sewed it together, and I carry around my utensils whenever I'm out and about, and it's just one of the things that really makes me excited about zero waste. It's a conversation starter, and it's just one of the ways that you can, be creative and use things that might otherwise be scrapped or thrown away to create something really cool that you love to carry around with you all the time. So lastly, I wanted to tell you about these Zero Hero videos. So every year, Zero Waste Humboldt honors local organizations who do an excellent job of implementing zero waste practices in some way to the work they do. I highly recommend checking out all of these videos. They're all super amazing organizations. One local artist, Thimbleberry Threads, was one of our most recent Zero Heroes. And the video that is going to play, we're going to show you after I'm done talking, is of Jennifer from Plastics Uniquely Recycled. She's a local artist and business owner, and she creates jewelry as well as buttons out of plastics that she collects locally that would have otherwise been thrown away. So this is a video of her process of how she creates the jewelry, and it's I find it very exciting. I'm actually wearing one of her necklaces right now. So I hope you all really enjoy her video. I hope you reach out and talk with us about getting involved or learning more. And thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Oh, here we are. It's going to take me a second to get back. All right. Well, getting back into focus here. Thank you so much, Kelly. And at this time, indeed, I'm going to try to play this amazing video that will show you the jewelry making process here. I have misplaced it, but I will find it very quickly. Okay. All right, here we go. This is Jennifer Sherman Rupp. Did I get that right? And local artist and business owner of Plastic Uniquely Recycled. This is how she creates jewelry out of recycled plastic. So enjoy. And we have one more short thing after this.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I own Plastic Uniquely Recycled. How I started was honestly, I wanted to shred material because there's so much material in the world, and I thought it'd be a great idea if I could shred it, and I wanted to make art yarn. So I got a hold of a friend that is a weaver and a spinner, and we started getting together researching, and what happened is when we put in shredding, we came up with a shredder that's made by Precious Plastic. So Precious Plastic is a guy named Dave Haskins, and he put together 4 machines that, and he open sourced the blueprints and told you how to deal with the material. So there's a lot of plastic in the world too, so I switched and decided to shred plastic. So this is what I do. I have several businesses that collect plastic for me, so I don't have to go out and find my plastic. It comes from Cloney's Pharmacy, Lima's Pharmacy, Green's Pharmacy, and Satori Wellness. So I bring it home, and then this is the shredder that Precious Plastic open source their blueprints. And we will just stick a piece in here real quick. You have to go one piece at a time. Anyway, so from being shredded, then it gets dumped into, so here's that material there. And then it gets dumped into these bins. From here, I will put it in a mesh bag and wash it in hot soapy water, and then rinse it in hot water, and then it'll sit on a tarp out in the sun. After that, it's put into jars, so that ends up being my my palette. And then it goes from there over here, where I will put it into molds. And molds are a funny thing. I'm always testing different molds and trying different things out. I've gone through, I feel like a chemist. I've gone through a lot of different things, like making my own silicone molds, buying silicone molds, using metal molds, and there's no perfect solution yet. Sometimes one thing works for a while and then it stops working. I cook it in a toaster oven and my toaster oven broke. I got a new toaster oven. Now I have to figure it all out again because this toaster oven seals tighter, and so it heats up faster and whatever. So I have to figure that out. But anyway, then they come out of the oven and I pop them out of their molds, and I have to clean off the back like this, and then I take a drill and I drill holes, and for the most part on my pieces I also just put in a little eyelet. So, and then, you know, that's another process. All right, so now we'll go upstairs.